Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for joining us on TCM for night two of our salute to Gregory Peck. He is May's Star of the Month. We're featuring his movies every Friday night. We're in the middle of a lineup of Gregory Peck Westerns. Up next, a film he made early in his Hollywood career. From producer David O. Selznick in 1946, Duel in the Sun. The movie is a loose adaptation of a novel by Niven Bush, who published the book in 1944, then pitched it to RKO as a vehicle for his wife at the time, Teresa Wright. The studio planned to cast Wright opposite John Wayne. As often happens in Hollywood, those plans fell through, and RKO sold the rights to David O. Selznick. Selznick saw the story as a vehicle for the woman he loved, Jennifer Jones, who would later become his wife. Jones was still riding high off her Best Actress Oscar win for playing a saintly young French woman in The Song of Bernadette from 1943. Selznick saw Duel in the Sun as a chance to showcase Jones's range. Gregory Peck, also under contract to Selznick, had more recently earned an Oscar nomination for just his second movie role, playing a good-natured priest in The Keys of the Kingdom. Duel in the Sun gave Peck an early opportunity to play against type, although, as he'd made only a few films, I'm not sure Peck had a type yet. Still, if you haven't seen Duel in the Sun and you know Gregory Peck's work, his character here will definitely surprise you. Jennifer Jones stars as Pearl, a half-white, half-Native American woman who escapes tragedy in Mexico to live with distant relatives on a sprawling cattle ranch in Texas. Her presence there offends the bigoted, cantankerous ranch owner, that's Lionel Barrymore, though the rest of the family takes more of an interest in her. She's welcomed by the kind-hearted matriarch, that's Lillian Gish, and her equally kind and level-headed son, Joe Cotton. But Cotton has competition for her affection from his reckless and lecherous brother. That is Gregory Peck. As I suggested, this is Peck in a rare bad boy role, and it shows what a versatile actor he could be. From 1946, directed by King Vidor, with a top-tier supporting cast, including Walter Huston, Herbert Marshall, Butterfly McQueen, and Charles Bickford, all narrated by Orson Welles. Duel in the Sun. Gregory Peck was 28 years old when production began on Duel in the Sun. This was just his sixth Hollywood film. He was more of a veteran, 30 years old, when the movie finally opened, premiering in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve of 1946. The delay had everything to do with the film's producer, David O. Selznick. Selznick saw Duel in the Sun as an opportunity to make a film on par with, or perhaps even better than, his defining triumph, that was Gone with the Wind from 1939. Selznick signed an A-list cast and director, King Vidor, then had elaborate sets constructed on location in Arizona. Crews laid down railroad tracks and brought in a vintage train just for the movie. Then Selznick employed thousands of extras, literally thousands, including what is still probably the greatest ever on-screen assembly of real-life cowboys. The spiraling budget and high expectations, exacerbated by a lengthy strike by the Conference of Studio Unions, created a tense atmosphere during production. Selznick peppered King Vidor with extensive script rewrites and new scenes, necessitating expensive reshoots. When the film finally hit theaters across the country in the fall of 1947, it did become a box office hit, although the critical response was mixed. Picked up 2 Oscar nominations for Jennifer Jones and Lillian Gish. Coming up, a TCM premiere, a Western from 1971 starring Gregory Peck. Shootout, directed by Henry Hathaway, is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Shootout, then Billy Two Hats, and later, The Big Country. Gregory Peck is larger than life tonight.